two, we need to try two things. I need to try talking like him, and then we can. I've added this mic. Okay. We're just going to pick up the sound from out there, and we can try it with it on and with it off.
So what does ball patrol liaison mean?
You need to find your ball patrol, who could be one there. You then need to instruct them on what they need to do, which is fine. So you have two out there and two on this line. And
How many are there? One there, one there.
Yes. If you find Chris Pierce, he'll give you a more detailed overview. Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Trent Park for today's Division 1 South fixture between Southgate and Wimbledon. We'll be going live very shortly, and for now we're going to leave you some pictures of the teams warming up. The pushbacks at 3:30, we'll go through the team sheets, but for those joining super early, we welcome you and we'll be getting going very soon. Southgate and our visitors from Wimbledon. The game will be pushing back in just under 15 minutes time. So do head in, get yourself a beer or a soft drink. It's a gorgeous day here in North London, and we're delighted to welcome the players, coaching staff and supporters from Wimbledon. Hope you had a good journey up from South London. Looking forward to the game very shortly. So that is Southgate against Wimbledon, taking place at 3:30. Wimbledon lineup as follows. Number 2, Elizabeth Hempstead. Number 3, Tula Knowles. Number 4, Petra Barr. Number 5, Imogen Colgate Stone. Number 6, Lola Fock Ryan. Number 7, Meg Parry. Number 8, Eloise Kennedy. Number 9, Umbelina Silva. Number 10, Emily Barker. Number 11, May Ash Haley. Number 12, Evie Whitehead. Number 13, Kitty Bacanello. Number 14 is Emily Drysdale. Number 15, Maddie Peel. Number 16, and the captain, Charlotte Lee. And number 29, in goal, Cara Beach. Wimbledon are managed by Geraldine Barker, coached by Helen Jelly, and Helen is assisted by Emily Oberant. I'm going to get the match officials. And then moving on to the home side, Southgate. Southgate today lining up with Louisa Bray in goal. Number 2, Imogen Swan. Number 5, the captain, Ellie Robinson. Number 9, Lorna Jane Cruikshank. Number 11, Flora Walker. Number 12, Emma Postings. Number 13, Caitlin Polly. Number 15, Charlotte Childs. Number 16, Jess Dennett. Number 17, Ella Poole Crow. Number 20, Ellie Halliday. Number 21, Emma McIntyre. Number 22, Charlotte C.K. Kelly. Number 27 is Katie McCullum. And number 36, Liv Richardson. And completing the team, number 80, Freya Matthews. Southgate are managed by Johnny Robinson, coached by Andy Richardson, and assisted today by Amy Robinson. And of course the third team out there today are umpires and match officials. Today blowing the whistle we've got Colin Anderson, Stuart Freeman, and the match official today is Stephen Limbert Mason. Big thanks as always to the umpires and our match officials. The game will starting in just over 5 minutes time, about 6 minutes till 3:30, and the players will shortly be coming out underneath the balcony to be running out for a prompt 3:30 start. So that's Southgate against Wimbledon, with you very soon. Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Southgate Hockey Centre up in Trent Park. It's a beautiful day, the sun is out, the crowds are out to my left and right, and the teams, Southgate and Wimbledon, are warming up in front of you. The team sheet there for you, which you've been able to take in. Liv Richardson, number 36 for Southgate, makes a return. She hurt her hand, broke it in the indoor campaign, so she's back for the first time. And unfortunately, Amy Robinson is today assisting the coach. She's off with another broken hand from training, so it's 1 in, 1 out there for Southgate, but otherwise largely unchanged from their 2-1 win away at Slough last week. Wimbledon, meanwhile, they sit at the bottom of the Division 1 South table, but have actually been having some really rather good results of late. A very hard team to score past, got good defensive record, and they'll be looking to build on those results and come out fighting today, still stave off the relegation threat under coach Helen Jelly. For Andy Richardson, he's got a chance to take his team into the top 3 positions of that Division 1 South table. Barnes making the running in the league at the moment, with Exeter students from the University of Exeter just beneath them in the table, so it's pretty tight, and Southgate will be looking to close that gap and push on as they now in their second season in this Division 1 campaign. So coach Andy Richardson looking out over his troops as they warm up, going through their shooting drills. As you can see him just to the right of your screen walking towards the dugout. Southgate playing in their famous red shirts, red socks, black skirts and shorts. Wimbledon on the other hand in their away kit, they're in the white jerseys and the crimson skorts. So that's Southgate against Wimbledon Women's Twos. We'll be starting in just over a few minutes' time now. Wherever you're joining us from, you're very welcome. Hope they've got plenty of Wimbledon supporters tuning in to watch your team. And the Southgate diaspora. And remember that straight after this game, we return to Premier Division hockey at Southgate for the first time in 2025. As Southgate will be taking on the visitors East Grinstead, fresh from a 3-1 win away at Sophia Gardens last week to Cardiff and Met. They came back with the points, and they'll be looking to get one over on an East Grinstead team who really took Southgate to the cleaners when they turned up in the middle of Storm Burt in darkest November. Nick Banderak making his one and only appearance for East Grinstead, scoring a brace of goals, and Southgate really suffering in that game. But they've picked up things, a really good indoor campaign and a good win last week, and they'll be hoping under coach Hugh Stevens to kick on and impress the Southgate balcony. And that game's at 6 o'clock, but for now our attention turns to Southgate against Wimbledon, and that pushback's going to be starting any moment as the umpires call in.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time is 3:30. We're moments away now from this afternoon's fixture between Southgate and Wimbledon, and it's time to welcome the teams, the ball patrol, the umpires out onto the pitch. Starting with our ball patrol, a big round of applause for today's ball patrol. Running the sidelines, the Southgate juniors. They're followed by the umpires, Colin Anderson and Stuart Freeman. And as the smoke blows into your faces, been a big cheer for the teams today, Southgate and Wimbledon.
So to the dulcet strains of Sandstorm, the Southgate Wimbledon players go down their lineups, clapping hands. A plume of red smoke you can see flying up from the flares that have gone up into the faces. Bit of a wind picking up here in the outer edges of North London, and the teams going into their huddles. For Wimbledon, it really is a must-win game. They put in some good performances. And the results not quite going with them in the last few weeks, but chance today on away soil to bring back some points to the Wombles HQ. For Southgate, meanwhile, really big chance. A disappointing loss to Firebrands, a 4-2 loss on home soil. A couple of weekends ago, they put that right last week, and they've got a chance to bring in their second successive three-pointer today. It's Emma McIntyre, Southgate forward, lining up there with Charlotte Childs and Lorna Cruikshank starting there for the Southgate team. And Wimbledon under Charlotte Lee, their captain, an Irish New Zealand player. Has been recently trialling with the Irish senior ladies. Will be looking to lead her team on for a big performance today as the umpire blows the whistle, and we're away there with Caitlin Polly for Southgate immediately into the action, turning around the Wimbledon zone there, putting under pressure, but she does well to move it to McIntyre, and immediately Charlotte Childs, very physical player. Childs came back to Southgate after a spell at Holcombe and has been instrumental in the team's success. And Jess Denniff now just coming up in front of the ball. Denniff formerly with Sevenoaks and moved to Southgate at the start of last season. Has found her way into that starting lineup for Andy Richardson in his last season as the Southgate first team coach, and what a tenure he's had there. Pitch has been playing a little bit slippy, a few people slipping and sliding on it in the earlier games. Southgate's men's twos in a 3-0 win against Spencer, maintaining their position at the top of the London Premier Division. But for now, all eyes on this game as that ball bounces into the Wimbledon screen. Charlotte Lee playing that prominent role, as does Ellie Robinson for the Southgate claim. So two captains, both in similar roles, facing against each other. First game between these two sides, Rayners Park High School, before Christmas ended in a very tight 2-1 win for Southgate. And they'll be hoping to make things a little bit easier today. And the ball there with Kelly, who passes it in to Ellie Robinson, who immediately sends it back to Ellie Halliday. And finds Caitlin Polly, a new joiner this year. Caitlin has really made an impression on the Southgate team and finds McIntyre, and back to Polly now. Wimbledon immediately putting pressure on that ball as Emma Postings drives forward, sends a ball to the top D, but it's picked up and it bounces well for Denniff, and a first chance there as Cara Beach comes out. An England under-16 talent, already making great strides in the Wimbledon setup, and fantastic to see some junior players coming through. Brilliant club, Wimbledon, goes without saying, and great rivals with Southgate. And the most recent game between the first team sides was Southgate and Wimbledon in the indoor campaign. That's the men's indoor campaign, which saw Wimbledon roundly beating Southgate. I think it was 10-1 by the end up in Derby Arena, so they really did get the better of the Southgate team. But it's now Wimbledon who have got their first driving attack. Tula Knowles, an England under-18, driving down into that coffin corner. She comes out, she turns, she does really well there under great Southgate pressure, wins a corner. Free hit, rather. My data analyst to my left informs me. Umpire, they're just saying, move that ball slightly back a pace, and now Wimbledon choose to come round. Transfer of the ball in Southgate territory. Emily Drysdale, Welsh senior international, firing it into the D. It gets a good touch, and that is first save of the game from Louisa Bray, pending it off, firing it off. And it's a good start now from Wimbledon. Southgate on their heels. Charlotte Lee drifting it into the right-hand side of the Southgate D. And now it's Wimbledon. Evie Whitehead. And that's well defended by Postings. And Southgate get a chance to catch their breaths. Flora Walker, a strong Scottish contingent in the Southgate team. And Flora, after a bit of a rest through the autumn, has come back, found her way straight back into the Southgate first team. Brilliant defender, Flora. And that's a lovely run there from Kelly, who turns it inside, finds Cruikshank, tempting to find Jess Deneth. And now Wimbledon. Cruikshank's tried to cut that ball off to the fullback, does well. And Petra doing well there. Is fullback for Wimbledon. Petra, another England under-18 player. Been with Wimbledon since the under-9s. So great to see those juniors flowing through. And that's really good from Deneth, really strong. I was just looking to connect there with Freya Matthews. Freya's had a brilliant start to 2025. She was with the Southgate team in their indoor and made a real impression. A Southgate junior who made her first team debut against Barnes in one of the results of the season, taking on a top place team. And Freya has been within that first team squad ever since. A Haileybury student and a real star of tomorrow. As Ellie Robinson customarily driving through, and still she goes, and that's brilliant. There's a chance here for Southgate, a slight mistouch there from Cruikshank. She turns, yeah, not quite. And that's the danger that Ellie Robinson can have. She is a fantastic player and has been, as many of this Southgate team have, worked their way up through the teams. A good number of them played together since they were but small. And there is, yes, a little chat there as Caitlin Polly comes in, as told you, a wag of a finger. And no card, but a threat of one. She's still on the pitch. That's a good step there from Tula Knowles, currently at Reed School. And a lovely little dink under the arm, finding a space, and still it's Wimbledon looking really good on the attack. As I said, they do not play as a team at the bottom of Div 1 South at all. A real potential. And Andy Richardson in his programme note making no bones about not underestimating them. And they're expecting a really tough game out in the sunshine. And it is hot today, that's the other thing to note. Players will fatigue out there quicker than normal. Not used to this sun, it's been pretty cold and miserable the last few weeks. And that's a good ball there from Postings, just not finding Cruikshank, the Southgate number 9. And that's good forward work from the two of them, tagging, and that's now picking up just about Katie McCullum, the number 27 for Southgate, and she's driving forward. She's got some brilliant goals. McCullum, one to watch today, New Zealand player. Fresh into the team this season, and what an impression she's made. And that's Robinson looking for one of those forwards on a wide lead out. And Cruikshank and Robinson not in sync on that occasion. So it's a Wimbledon ball now. So the score now, board up with you, Southgate, and that count stands for Wimbledon women, in case you were confused. And 0-0, and that's a good ball across, and that's well picked up there by Liv Richardson, who, with some aerobatics, flies. Not a Sam Ward Hollywood move at all. Started pushing the back, but sent her going. Liv always gives absolutely everything, puts her body on the line. And an example of that was just a few moments ago. So it's great to see Liv back on the pitch. Really painful hand injury back in December, and she's been working her way back to fitness with the women's twos. And now back in the team, coached of course by her dad. Andy, a few nice family relationships, of course the Robinson sisters, Amy on the bench today with her own broken hand, and dad Johnny, the manager. And this is Wimbledon again. Probably had the better of the possession so far. Drysdale sending it round. Strong carry forward. Nice cut inside. It's well picked up though. And now Charlotte Childs driving forward. Really quick player, Charlotte. So you see that Wimbledon zonal press really congesting the pitch, but there's acres of space out if Southgate can just turn it around and move it. That's walking out. Oh, I was going to say she does well, but she's pickpocketed. And Lola Bryant, the number 6, doing well, and it's right at the edge of the D. Some really strong defending from Emma Postings, who still goes forward. She's not happy with that, and yeah, she wins a foul. And the ball slapped around. Liv Richardson going high for Walker. Richardson on the ball, first time slap pass, trying to find McCullum. With Meg Parry literally bouncing off McCullum. Meg Parry, a recent transfer from London Wayfarers. And another in the England under-16 setup. That's a good ball there, really good from McCullum, who now drives, surges forward. Denef now, and another Wimbledon player literally bouncing off the Southgate players. And Imi Swan, just seeing that off to the sideline, and the ball is back with Richardson. About 7 minutes left on this first quarter. A slightly interesting pass from Liv there, but it eventually finds Walker, and Southgate retreat to try and pick up that ball as the Wimbledon players just try and close it in. You'll notice that zone that they're playing, working in on the ball, putting pressure on Southgate, but if you can get out of it, as Kelly, I think that's Kelly there. It is Kelly, and that's another of those little slips I mentioned before. This new Southgate pitch was laid in May and June last year, and it's taken a bit of time to set in, as these water pitch tend to do. They get a bit bouncy to start with, a bit like a carpet. It takes a bit of time to wear in. And now, Kaylin, I'd suggest that Southgate may be starting a little slowly here. Possibly taking some time to adjust to the heat out there. Remember that the pitches radiate the heat, much hotter out there than it is up here. And the crowd to my left and right is a little quiet at the moment. Not really any clear chances for either team, so we're waiting for something to kick things into life. The score is still at 0-0 as the cameraman just finds the sideline. It's the sun, you'll notice, in your eyes, so it's just a little bit hard at some points to make out the players. But you should be getting a gist of the action as Southgate work it around the edges. Again, slightly poor pass from Halliday, bouncing, difficult for Kelly to pick up. Too many turnovers from a Southgate point of view there. But they're dogged in defence, and they win that one back. Walker then finds Halliday, turns it into the screen. Polly winning the free hit. So until that loss to the Firebrands on the 22nd of February, Southgate had been unbeaten in outdoor and indoor since their loss on the 9th of November, and a 3-2 loss to Surbiton. So they had a really good run of things and fought their way up this Division 1 table. It's Wimbledon now back in the D, but it's well picked up by Richardson. It was that a self pass or a miss pass? But she's turned it over, and that's Tula Knowles now. And Bray called into action, and still it's bouncing up. It's really dangerous for the Southgate players. They managed to scramble it out there. That's the first great opportunity of the game. And Louisa Bray, second save she's had to make, and an important one as well. So Denef then finds Robinson, plays it forwards, finds Matthews, and that's a good pass, positive pass, but just past the stretching stick of Lorna Cruikshank. Southgate just needed to hold on to that possession a little bit more to bit like ping ball at the moment. That's an ambitious hit ball. And immediately Southgate now back on the charge. McCullum driving through those Wimbledon players. Robinson sends it out, that's it, finds Polly. Polly then putting it onto the foot of Wimbledon player. That's the captain, Charlotte Lee, and Polly now going forward. And that did not carry the 5 yards that it needed to, as Matthews now comes back outside the 25. Southgate being patient. They've got a good 2 or 3 minutes left of this quarter, still time. Halliday saying it into the foot of a hobbling Katie Baccanello. And that's a good ball in, it's fallen and bounces, and somehow it doesn't go in. McIntyre, McCullum and Richardson tag teaming there, and really good keeping from Cara Beach. And this is the first corner of the game, and it's going to fall the way of Southgate in the closing minutes of the first quarter. Had some good success, the Southgate team, from their corner routines, and we'll see how they line up. So the Wimbledon PCD team. Cruikshank on the injection, crouches, famous crouch that she does. Fires it out, bounces up though, falls for McCullum. And McCullum celebrates. And yeah, the umpire says it was too high, because it went in the goal netting. They're now having a chat, the umpires, after McCullum's representation. So that's a lovely replay there from our video team, showing you before the game. So we can't show you that replay, but we can show you the umpires heading in for intense conversation. And the original decision stands. It's going to be a hit out, but the ball did find its way into the goal off a bouncing trap, and McCullum now putting pressure. Well done from McIntyre. Ball bouncing, and you can see the Southgate physicality at work here. It's a young team, this Wimbledon twos team, so a lot of younger players, whereas the Southgate team got just the one junior in their starting line at the moment. That's Freya Matthews. So you really are watching the stars of tomorrow in those white shirts and crimson skirts, but they may just take a bit of time to get used to that physicality from the slightly stronger, physically stronger at least, Southgate players. At least that's how it's looking at the moment. But Wimbledon do have the skill, and that's exemplified right now as that Wimbledon player turns, and again, there you have Liv Richardson demonstrating the physicality and earning a corner for the opposition. And now we've switched from a Southgate corner, and in the very last, see that? Yeah, that was exactly right from the umpire, and Liv's going to need to watch that. Can be a big strength in her game, but also can be the danger of giving away chances just like this one. So it'll be interesting to see how Wimbledon set up there. It's looking like they're going to have Maddie Peel on the right-hand castle and the captain Charlotte Lee on the left-hand castle. The injection comes, it falls to the captain Charlotte Lee, who puts it in, looking for the deflection. It bounces around, still in play. Puts it on a reverse shot, fired in, another good save by Bray. Southgate clear it just about, and it falls out as we reach a breathless end of the first quarter. And the score is Southgate 0, Wimbledon 0. Okay, that's a really good shot and a great save from Louisa Bray, who's been really needed in this half. Really fascinating contest between two very different sides. So a couple of minutes to catch our breath, and we'll be back with you very shortly. So there, you can see the balcony, left of your screen as we cut back to the action, and umpire Freeman blows his whistle on the start of quarter 2. Goalless so far, and Southgate immediately starting with a bit of intensity. Jess Denef gets it, turns it over. Good work by Petra Bar. And the Wimbledon defence done a good job so far. The commentator curses them on that occasion and hands it straight back to Southgate. So Southgate just inside the Wimbledon territory of the M25. Kelly on the ball. Walker to Postings. Postings, she's got Richardson. And Liv, she's looking to make those first time passes, but she's got a bit more time. She had McCullum and Childs. But she's gained territory, and it's right in the corner. Childs and McCullum and Swan closing it in. And Wimbledon do well to get it out of the Southgate press. Finds a stick of Ella Poole-Crow, New Zealand veterinary officer, when she's not playing hockey. Joined this year, and this is Robinson again, putting it in. That's really dangerous now for Southgate. They've got an opportunity. It's fallen. It's at the foot of Beach, and Wimbledon do well to clear it. Emma Postings, captain of the Southgate mixed team, and looking to take that team through to the finals as they did last year. Really strong physical player, moved from Chelmsford a couple of seasons ago, and is one of Andy Richardson's first on the team sheet players. But now it's a good chance here for Wimbledon. They're looking to turn it, still in play, it's on the baseline. Bray saves, it's still in play, and Walker does really well there. Southgate having to work really hard and be tenacious in the defence. And Wimbledon looking really good. Imogen Colgate-Stone with a chance, and Southgate putting players and bodies behind the line. That was Emily Barker, a Wimbledon TA player, currently at Epsom College. And now Wimbledon come again, back into the Southgate 25. Players in the white shirts. Maybash Haley looking threatening just by the P spot, and they've won themselves a corner. You see, so it's really congested in that Southgate players behind the ball, making it really difficult for Wimbledon to get any clear shooting opportunities. But it's just the second corner now for Wimbledon. Right of the first one falling, as you're looking at it, at the left hand of your screen, the left hand castle, which was the captain Charlotte Lee. So Wimbledon get ready. Southgate player set, ball is injected out, falls again to the left hand castle. Imogen Colgate Stone, and it's still firing. It's just heads in hands from the Wimbledon players. Felt they could have done more of that opportunity. And it's now Southgate looking for that counter-attack, and that's where Southgate just falling, they're just not connecting. They're looking to play with intensity, but they're just turning it over. But Imogen Swan now trying to right that, and she does a great pass under her arm there, trying to find Denef, who doesn't quite run onto it. And now it's bouncing back the other end, and Wimbledon on the charge. And Walker, who's had a really good game so far, does well, finds Polly. Polly to Matthews, picks it up on her reverse, dinks it out onto the sideline. Walker now charging up. Wimbledon really congesting. You can count 7 players around the ball. And they're now back into the Southgate 25, driving down into the left-hand side of the D and win a free hit outside. And from the way both teams are playing, you wouldn't note the points disparity between them. It's a pretty even contest. But can the Southgate experience win out as this game goes on? We shall see as the ball moves its way round to Eloise Kennedy. That's a good step from Richardson. Gets in front of the ball, finds Postings. Back to Richardson. And Denef then, who's back doing her defensive duty, surrounded by a swarm of Wimbledon players. And some strong play, shall we say, from Meg Parry, and Southgate are awarded a free hit. Richardson goes for an aerial, but it lands firmly at the foot of Parry, who then plays it round, finds Lizzie Hempstead, formerly Whatley Hockey Club. So Southgate's going to need to cut down on those unforced errors. They're going to try and steal their way onto the score sheet here. Wimbledon, Tula Knowles trying to find a way round the edge of the Southgate defence, turns it over. Deneth puts her hand up, says sorry as that ball is sent out. Meg Parry's making a real nuisance of herself there. And Postings does well, ultimately sends the ball straight back to the Wimbledon players, and that is Matthews now in fierce contest with Lee, and the ball really is going backwards and forwards in a frenetic manner, and one of these teams is going to need to wrestle control of the game. That's good, and Wimbledon really playing with the intensity of a team knowing how important the result is for them. So it's a great battle out there in the heat of this North London afternoon, as Deneth wins a sideline ball, immediately subs herself off as Southgate set in the Wimbledon territory. And there's so much space to the near side of your screen, and Southgate need to use that space, trying to work their way through, but they have managed on that occasion. This is an opportunity now for Childs, but a slightly weak shot and goal, and it's well cleared by Beach. And Swan trying to dink it through. She had Cruikshank and McIntyre running onto it. About 10 minutes till half time. Can one of these teams break the deadlock? Ball into Lee, but it's a miscontrol, and Cruikshank now on her own. She's got players to her left and right. Tried to win a corner there, but it's well defended, and it's a good ball. A firm hit ball out, finding Emily Barker. And this Wimbledon team really benefiting from the experience of their coach, Helen Jelly. Played for Guildford. She's won indoors and outdoors as a player, and she's also coaching the Scotland under-18 boys, so wealth of experience. She's just marshalling her troops there on the sideline. So Southgate just back on a 70 press at the moment, with Cruikshank doing the lion's share of the work and that central pivot. And Parry now breaking through. She's shepherded by McIntyre and Walker, and Kelly doing well. She turns, driving on her reverse, does really well, getting a load of ground. She's got Cruikshank in front of her. She tries to find Polly, but it just picked up there. Well defended, and she wins a sideline ball. And just a bit quiet out there, the Southgate players at the moment. And they're just making too many of those unforced errors. Walker there trying to find the lead of the midfield player, but putting it straight into Wimbledon. And then Wimbledon trying to play it forward and find it straight into the stick of a Southgate player. And now it's back the other end with Polly this time. She's got McIntyre ahead of her, and Cruikshank is in the D. There's an opportunity here. Cruikshank's trying to turn and tries to cut back, put it inside, but it's well defended once again, and Southgate don't get it into that circle. Be interesting to see the stats at half-time between the two teams, and the circle entries and the turnovers particularly. It's a fantastic turn there, and somehow Lizzie Hempstead still goes on that left-hand side of the pitch, but they're still trying to force it through space, and somehow they're getting through it, in fairness to them. Southgate players swarming around the ball. Ball now slapped forward. Lee just holding her hand in apology, but it was a difficult ball coming hard on her reverse pickup, as now Paul Crowe has the ball, but there's not much movement in front of her. She turns. Robinson with the overlapping run, and Southgate choose. That's better from Southgate. They're choosing maximise the space, and they need to move it quickly and efficiently there. McCullum and Paul Crowe. That's good. McCullum now. And she's still going. McCullum puts on her reverse, sends it up, and Parry shields it with her body. And that's deemed as a dangerous ball, and it's now played out. And still this game of pinball continues as Postings finds McIntyre. A good lead from Cruikshank, but she's unable to make it. It's just a bit too far in front of her. And Southgate really without a strong opportunity yet. So Wimbledon now on the offensive. A nice ball that inside. There's plenty of space if they can move it exactly there. Ball step forward. Paul Crowe. And that was Umbelina Silva, French player, who's winning that. Umbelina formerly playing for Racing Club de France. And Parry then putting that ball in. It's a dangerous one, and there's an opportunity. A reverse shot was about to be unleashed. And Southgate just choosing to take the heat out of it just for a moment as Walker finds Postings. A really strong ball there. Lovely turn from McIntyre. Turns again, still she's going. Great control, turns infield. Surrounded by that Wimbledon zone, and she does really well. Polly then. And again, those errors creeping in. Such good work. And the right idea from Polly, but she had more time. They're playing those one-touch slap passes down the sideline, and they're just not being accurate, and nor, I think, are they wholly needed. Wimbledon then. McCullum, see the intensity with which he plays the game out, really encouraging the errors from Wimbledon, but a bit of frustration beginning to creep in. There's going to be some very tired players out there very soon. There's a lot of running going on as the game goes between one D and the other D. And we're into the last 5 minutes of this game, and the Wimbledon supporters pointing out the space that is appearing on the pitch, which they're now exploiting, as the girls in the white shirts look, and that's a good ball out. I think number 13 is just going to get it, but it's just at the outer edge of her reach. That's Katie Baccanello, formerly with Surbiton and Exeter, for plying her wares now with the South London club. Again, those players, Southgate trying to force it down the right sideline, but they've given it back to Wimbledon. And the ball now sitting on the stick of Eloise Kennedy. Finds Parry. Parry has a really nice, she feints left, sends it down the sideline into the right corner. And now Southgate on the counter. McCullum, driving sense of lovely placed reverse dink of a pass through to Paul Crowe, who tries to play in Childs. And Childs does well. She steps forward, now trying to turn. Still Childs goes. That's strength that Childs has, and she's just worked her way through the Wimbledon players. And now on the outside of the D, it falls back. There's an opportunity here. Dennis puts it on. It's out of foot. Falls to McCullum. There's an opportunity. Ella Paul Crowe. It falls now to McCullum. A great save there from Beach. And Southgate come away without the goal and without really a shot coming in. And Matthews now immediately driving forward, sends it, looking to find McCullum. She picks up McCullum. McCullum turns, and this is an opportunity. And McCullum goes, and she gets it into the goal. Somehow she finds a way. And it's 1-0 to Southgate. The score, Southgate 1, Wimbledon 0. And McCullum, through sheer perseverance, manages to push that ball into the back of the net and beats Beach in the process. And Southgate have that crucial first goal with just a few minutes to go until the end of the first half here at Southgate Hockey Centre. And could that be a game-changing moment in this game, which has struggled to find a clear momentum? It's been quite staccato, bouncing backwards and forwards. But will that just settle the Southgate players? And can Wimbledon find a response? That's a lovely baseline run there. And she wins a corner. That's fantastic skills, passing over 2 or 3 sticks. Wimbledon now looking for an immediate response. Postings does really well. Umpire calls a backstick on the challenge. Really good work there from Meg Parry. For me, one of the pick of the Wimbledon players so far. Great hustle, real determination on the ball. Wimbledon now advancing slowly forward. Petra Bar chooses to come back. Wimbledon being patient, biding their time, but they've not got much of it, about a minute. Ball now with Eloise Kennedy. Back to Bar. Bar, great ball in. First time Dink finds a ball. It's a chance here. Wimbledon come. Southgate defend, and they manage to get it out. Ella Poole-Crow picks it up, and now Southgate, can they find another attack in this first half? Current score, Southgate 1, Wimbledon 0. And Richardson just playing that into congested space, into sticks, but Southgate managed to turn it back over. And Wimbledon doing really well, putting pressure on the ball. Wimbledon needed someone to lead out wide, pick that ball up, but they hold on to it. It's the right choice. Parry now, that's the lead. Really nicely picked up, and just as Tula Knowles gets her circle entry, umpire calls time. So the score at the end of an interesting contest between these two teams at Southgate 1, Wimbledon 0. We'll leave you with a few highlights from that first half, and we'll be back with you very soon.
Strive to make art that change the world.
Your help. Surprise, surprise, eh?
I'm getting my teeth into a new play.
That's a good round number.
You want this all for yourself.
Who wouldn't?
Good casting, too.
Hey, that's cute.
There's a storm coming.
There'd be no story without us.
Here we go.
Strive to make art, but change the world.
Your help. Surprise, surprise, eh?
I'm getting my teeth into a new play.
That's a good round number.
You want this all for yourself.
Good casting, too.
Hey, that's cute.
There's a storm coming.
There'd be no story without us.
Welcome back to quarter 3 and the second half of this game between Southgate and Wimbledon. So coach Helen Jelly will have had 10 minutes or so with her charges, the Wimbledon players, and Andy Richardson with his players. And I think for the Southgate players, it's just a case of trying to get a bit more control into this game. And that's a slightly wild shot there, coming a good opportunity that they made, and Emily Barker sending that ball skirting off against the sidelines. And they win a free hit, Tula Knowles standing over it. Yeah, Southgate just seemed a little bit panicked at times in that first half. Eager, definitely, but just lacking a bit of control. They'll be looking to try and use some of that experience that they have in droves in this team. And now Charlotte Lee, the captain, comes forward straight through Liv Richardson, who tries to bat that away, but doesn't. And now Ellie Robinson and Polly firing, and the ball is now right past the goal, and a really good opportunity, and Wimbledon looking dangerous in those moments. But Southgate escape. The score remains 1-0. Halliday finds Walker. Scotland to Scotland into the screen, and Robinson does really well, but sending that ball Petra Barr to Eloise Kennedy into Lizzie Hempstead. Again, she's now on the right. Hempstead did well in the first half, under pressure from Charlotte Childs, and now some really lovely movement in the midfield there, which has created that gap now, which Petra Barr is coming through lovely from Wimbledon. Charlotte Lee sends the ball in, picked up well by Walker, who I think boots it into touch. There was a lovely overlapping bit of running that the Wimbledon midfield did there, which just created that space through which could just charge towards the D, and the ball now with Imogen Colgate-Stone. Only 14 in her first year of National League, which just shows the extraordinary depth and talent that Wimbledon have coming through their club. But they'll be looking to hold their place in this Division 1 South to try and keep that pathway through to the Premier Division. Big gap between standard of the conference and Division 1 South. So they'll be really looking to hold their place. And that's good, calm, composed work, and a ball from Richardson trying to connect in with McIntyre. But they're now playing with the sun in their eyes. You see the Southgate players squinting. You can see those long shadows that are being cast on your picture. And that's a stunning ball there, right through multiple lines. Ball doffed under the shoulder of Umbelina Salva. And then finds Lee playing that really important role in the screen. And then a really strong challenge from Postings, but she puts it into the foot of Matthews. And then Postings does brilliantly. She gets so low in the tackle. It's her outdoor skills, and that's again a good step, but slightly loose play from Southgate. And Wimbledon now started really strongly here, as if their lives depended on it, and they're putting a lot of pressure onto the home side. Umpire Freeman signalling free hit just outside. Wimbledon now look to come again. Ball back with Lee, finding that full-back position. A reminder that after this game, there's a different link for it, but it will be coming to you almost immediately. Southgate men take on East Grinstead. Both teams arriving as we speak, and that game will be pushing back at 6 o'clock. But for now, all eyes on Southgate against Wimbledon, as Postings has players bouncing off her shoulder left and right as she fires her way through, wins a hit as well, does well Postings there. And Southgate now with a chance to just hold on to that possession for a little bit. And that's a really good ball from Walker, ambitious, but it works, finds McIntyre, and this is an opportunity now for Southgaters. Imogen Swan, lovely player, Imi. Great hands, which she exemplifies just there, but she's got herself right into a corner and she finds her way out of it, finds Charlotte Kelly, and that was good from Southgate, linking back to the defence. Halliday to Walker. Walker with the most graceful slap in Southgate Hockey Club. Picks up Halliday, now Richardson. And that ball finds its way through to Denniff, and there's an opportunity now as Southgate back in the circle. The ball fires across, McCullum trying to put it first time, misses it, and Wimbledon pick it up and drive it out of the D. But they're under pressure now. And that aerial comes in, and I think Halliday just said she couldn't see it at all with the sun gleaming in her eyes, and that's a crucial pick-up there from Walker, as she had a Wimbledon player almost through on goal there. And now, that was a chance there for Emily Barker. She wasn't happy. And somehow, Umbelina Silva, the French Wimbledon player, she dances over a stick or two, brilliantly holds on to her footing, stays a foot, and wins herself a long corner. She sends it to Tula Knowles. Knowles hits it in, it comes up and fits it. That's well put down, and that's a great, was it a save or was it a missed shot? I don't know, but a good opportunity from Wimbledon. Ellie Robinson taking a moment to do her shoelace, and the game continues. 10 minutes left of this third quarter. Southgate with a slender goal in margin, but Wimbledon are putting the pressure on, turning the screws. As the ball finds Barker, Barker turns. Still Barker's going, she's got a chance here, puts on her reverse, and Louisa Bredas brilliantly smothers the ball. That was a crucial save that from Bray, and umpire just calls back the play, and she sends Imogen Swan off for a sit-down, a 2-minute sit-down for a earlier infraction. Southgate down to 10 players. A bustling atmosphere here at Southgate this afternoon. The weather bringing people out from the darkness of those winter months. Spring has finally landed in Enfield. And Halliday, it's a nice pass. I think that's somehow is a great, she keeps it in brilliantly. Jess Denniff does it superbly well there, but just always at the outer edge of control. McCullum just not quite getting the better on that challenge. Again, you see the physicality at play. And Richardson now. And Wimbledon now coming forward, and they're doing really well now, and they turn backspace shot. Did that find a foot? It does indeed. Really good play from Wimbledon, and it came from a turnover. A bit of a mistake there from a Southgate player, leading to that chance and that opportunity. And Wimbledon now have the chance to claw this game back to parity. Be the third corner. So Wimbledon now, the injector crouches over the ball, sends it to the near castle. Maddie Peel puts it in, brilliant from Kelly, runs it down. And the reward for running it down so well is the opportunity to do it all over again. So Peel again. Slightly slower injection, but it comes to Peel. Peel does well. She sends it. A feint from Lee, but not able to get the shot off, and Southgate do well. And I think that umpire Freeman is just going to call that one back. Robinson looking to get it away keenly. And those corners not quite coming off at the moment for Wimbledon. combination of some good penalty corner running and some slightly inauspicious injections. And that was a big old thwack, or was lining up to be, from Halliday, but didn't quite come off, but she manages to nevertheless find a free ball, and Matthews tries to send it back, and it's a 16-yard hit. So 7 minutes to go of the third quarter. The game is on a knife edge at 1-0. And Richardson, she keeps trying to play those one-time balls, but they're not quite coming off at the moment. Charles trying to play that reverse ball into for Ella Poole-Crowe, but again, Wimbledon putting on the pressure. Imogen Swan trying to get the better there of Petra Bar, but the ball is turned over, and now Charlotte Childs is attacking in pace, but going straight into Lizzie Hempstead. Just wanting to enjoy holding on to the ball a little bit more and not doing that, which is gifting it easily to the Wimbledon players. Too many unforced errors from a team that have got it in them to play a little bit better than this. But they're in the lead, they're winning. And they're not making it easy for the visitors. Childs now does well, finds Poole-Crowe, does brilliantly Poole-Crowe. Now she sends it, very well defended by Wimbledon. Poole-Crowe did really well there to hold that ball on her reverse and then find her way into the circle, but that ball across just not easy, not onto the stick of the incoming forward. And Southgate need to find that quality and the clinical execution in the D. We're expecting a tight game though, and that's exactly what we've got. And now Wimbledon charging down the right. A nice ball, and that's good from the visiting team. Sending it back, an opportunity still, it's in play. Now Wimbledon on the baseline, sending it, but Postings. Superb from Postings, who even manages to get it out to Cruikshank. Cruikshank never in control of that. And that, just the basics there, just not quite working for Southgate at the moment. Kelly, superb from Kelly. In turns, pickpocketed by Parry. Parry with pick of the Wimbledon players for me in the first half. Cruikshank low in the challenge, but it bounces off. Just not quite going into that. Physical certainty you need, and Wimbledon took advantage. And now Liv Richardson finding a shoulder on Katie Bacanello, but she gets away with it, does well, wins the ball, turns, tries to come out of a pocket of really congested space, and now they get to reset. And Richardson, I'm not sure what happened there, but the ball seems to have ended up off the pitch, and Wimbledon have taken it quickly. And now Wimbledon have a good chance here. It's pulling over. Bray gets something on it. There's a Wimbledon player down, and time is off. Not sure who it is, but Helen Jelly rushing onto the pitch. At least I think that's Helen. Not what you want to see. And the sun is still hitting down here in Trent Park, but the temperature beginning to drop a little bit, a few more coats appearing on the spectators, and a chance for the Southgate players, as Robertson's just calling players in, just to take stock. It's not been the third quarter that they were perhaps hoping for. Wimbledon have done well, forced countless errors, but they've defended trenchantly despite the ball not quite landing where they want it to. The ball connection's not quite happening in the way that they want. they're still with the 1-0 lead, as try and see the shirt number of that Wimbledon player who's just walking off with a slight limp, but good to see her back on her feet. So Wimbledon now sat on the 25. Send it back. 2 minutes to play, and the ball is now on the left-hand side of the D. A lovely turn from Barr, under pressure from Postings. Barr still has the ball. She's patient. Looks up, but Postings uses that to come in and does really well in the challenge. The ball back with Barr. Emma McIntyre picks it up, sends it into Matthews. He's got a lovely carry position, Matthews, but Barr. A difficult player to beat. And now McCullum doing a great shift up in the forward line, almost on her own up there. And a slap ball in there from Emily Drysdale. And now Southgate have a chance to counter. McCullum's up with McIntyre. McIntyre does well, turns infield. She's on her own, but somehow she's still going. And the cavalry arrive a bit later. Polly was calling for that ball onto the right channel, but Southgate choosing to send it round. And they're now back down the left channel. Matthews into Robinson, but Robinson that time, unusually for her, is turned over by Mai Bash Haley. Haley from Loughborough University, moved in this season to Wimbledon, to the Wombles. And the crowd slowly waking up here in North London. It's been a little bit quiet. And Haley now on the ball. And now there's an opportunity with Robinson looking down and sends a ball, and that's got McIntyre. She's on her own. She's sending it. Difficult touch. Not quite in control. It could have been a one-on-one opportunity there. Polly, Kelly turns. Last seconds of this third quarter. Postings out to Halliday. Sends it to Swan. Swan back to Halliday. Just about keeps it in play. Into the screen. Robinson picks it up, turns, controls, into space. Kelly, she's got Deneth. And Kelly sends that in front of Deneth, and the attack fizzles out. So overtime by our watch. So expect a whistle any moment. The score remains 1-0, and a slightly misplaced first touch from Barr there, an unusual one. She's been really solid in this game so far. Possibly a bit of tiredness coming in, and that's good pressure that from Cruikshank. And there is the whistle. Umpire Freeman blows time. And the score at the end of quarter 3, Southgate 1, Wimbledon 0. Coaches now with a couple of minutes. And you feel this game could go one of, well, all three ways. All three results definitely on the table. Wimbledon with the better chances there in that quarter, and definitely had the best of it. Southgate just wanted to compose themselves, and Coach Richardson maybe beginning to get a little frustrated out there. His team have proven that they can beat the top teams in this league, but they're struggling a little bit out there this afternoon. But they've still got the lead, and Wimbledon will still need to summon all their reserves to find an upset in this late afternoon sunshine at Trent Park. The score: Southgate 1, Wimbledon 0. And as the Greatest Showman plays on the speaker, Southgate charged straight into the D. So 17 and a half important minutes, a crucial 17 and a half minutes for Wimbledon as they look to hold their place in Division 1 South. And you feel that one more goal for Southgate could kill the game as Kelly sends it back to postings. But that's well picked up there. And Lola Bryant from Epsom College, has been trialling for the England under-16s. Does well, holds on to the possession, and now Petrobar steps up. And that ball's going to find Meg Parry. Back to the captain, Lee, back to Barr. That was good from Wimbledon, and just that final connection to Drysdale. Not there. So lots of hockey has been played Southgate today. Just one game following this one. A big appeal there from Imogen Colgate-Stone, who's successful in it, and that ball fires across. Was looking to find the Wimbledon forward in the D, but it was just sent slightly at her outer edges. What was that? Number 9, Umbelina Selva. And Richardson tries to turn, but she's bested as a reverse shot comes in. And you see Wimbledon really searching, probing, but they're not breaking through the Southgate defence at the moment. Kelly then sends that line ball up, finds Childs, who picks it up, but it's slightly ahead of her. And Wimbledon pick it up, it falls to Parry. Parry finds Selva. Selva turns under pressure from Childs, but she does really well. Sends it back to Parry, who's one of those players that looks like she's got all the time in the world on the ball. Does well, moves it, transfers it to the right, and the ball will fall off for a Wimbledon ball. A Southgate ball, apologies. Southgate 1, Wimbledon 0. Walker sends her elegant slap, but she sends it straight in to the outstretched stick of Evie Whitehead. And Southgate are lucky not to have been tested there, as Childs now, not sure she meant for that, but that ball sort of bounced in and off and ended up back with Childs, who's under pressure from Parry. And now Wimbledon go again. And this is going to be a test of stamina for both teams, because the ball is being played backwards and forwards at an alarming velocity. Good there from Tula Knowles. Southgate crowd. Paul Crowe comes forward. Good ball pace out to Childs. Finds Kelly. Kelly, who's looked good this afternoon, finds postings. And then into the screen, Paul Crowe. Lovely from Southgate. And now Swan just letting that one head off. Childs gets in low, puts the pressure on Parry, sending it back through to Barr, and Barr looks to slap it, but turns inside, finds the captain. Lee's got Barker ahead of her, does really well to find her, and there's a good chance now. And Barker sends it under her arm, but Richardson does well, steps in front, stops the opportunity, and that ball now finds McCullum. And McCullum sort of dinks it in under her arm, and still she goes, puts it onto the foot of Emily Drysdale, and they set back. McCullum back to number 36, Liv Richardson. Postings, who sends it forward to Kelly, who's to the other side of the pitch now, into the screen with Freya Matthews. looks to try and find someone inside of her. She's got no options, so she sends it back around to postings. And it now finds its way to the other side. So this is good from Southgate. Just holding on to that ball a little bit better, picking their moments, being patient. And that was Richardson to Paul Crowe to the sideline. And we spoke a little bit too soon up here as a good passage of play comes to an end. But the ball now finds its way to Matthews. Smart decision making there from Matthews. But Halliday slightly miscontrols that ball back, finds herself under pressure. Looks to turn it, but it's turned over to Wimbledon. No, it's not. It's found. A ball awarded to Southgate. So in this little pause of play, shout out to the team providing the streaming for you today. Mitch Reed, our data analyst. Oscar Pryor, the cameraman, as Richardson again plays one of those balls in. She's trying to progress the play, but it's just finding Wimbledon sticks. And that comes in, and that is a ball finding Lola Bryant, and it doesn't find it for very long. It's bounced off, ball back, hit out for Southgate. And then vision mixing for you this afternoon, battling to serve you with the finest replays, is Alex Christie. So I hope you're enjoying the streaming service. Richardson there sending it into Lee. And to Walker. Walker looks up. She's got Richardson calling for it, but under pressure from Lee. And Richardson does really well, gets really low in the challenge, but she sends a stick in. She looks a bit quizzical, but there was a bit of an ooh there from the crowd. As in possibly some members of the supporting fraternity suggest a corner could have gone the way of Wimbledon, but it's not to be, and instead Wimbledon with the possession in the Southgate half, but only just as Petrobar slap passes the ball, finding Parry. Parry under pressure does well, sends it. Good lead in and out wide from, I think that's Emily Barker, who's turned still. She's going, there's a good chance there, and that's gone in. And a goal is awarded. And that was coming, you would say. Sustained pressure from Wimbledon, and Emily Barker doing really well. And Southgate are now got a team fighting for their lives and their place. And they're going to need to step up if they're going to try and get the 3 points from this game. But plenty of time, 10 minutes to go. The score, Southgate 1, Wimbledon 1. Will that goal be the catalyst Southgate need? And that ball just being placed ahead of Denif. Great step from Postings. Postings sends it, finds it. Cruikshanks, I think, found the foot there of the Wimbledon player, Eloise Kennedy. Better from Southgate. Cruikshanks down, plays it on the ground, and it falls away harmlessly for a 16-yard. But better intensity from Southgate. They're going to need to pick things up now. The score, the game on an actual knife edge now as McIntyre tries to step in front, but Parry gets in the way, and that will be mopped up by Robinson. A battle between Parry and Robinson, which almost looked like a bully for a moment. And here Wimbledon come again. It's Tula Knowles now. She's got Southgate players left, right, but Richardson is going to do well and come in, and the ball gets sent outside a long corner. So this is a really big, important phase of the game. Wimbledon now in this, trying to get a ball over from the P spot, but it bounces out. Lee's now got a chance, fires a ball across. It's a great reverse-handed shot, ooze from the Wimbledon supporters, falls to the right-hand side of Louisa Bray's post, and she is untroubled, and the scoreline remains 1-1. 7.5 minutes of play remains, and you sense there's another goal in this one. Imogen Swan, well, she was away, Swan, but she was called back, and now that ball's going to try and find McIntyre. It's really fine defending from Parry. And still Parry. She seems to be everywhere at the moment, but she's currently locked in a corner with McIntyre and Crookshanks, but she's found her way out of it. And McCullum now, she's got Robinson. Robinson has a chance here for Southgate. Puts it into the foot. A bit more urgency coming now from the home side. And if they can find their way out of that, there'll be a big cheer from the Southgate balcony. But that ball was played from postings, a rare unforced error from her. And that is a big touch, that from Flora Walker, because Emily Barker was free on goal. And now Southgate players are rushing to get back, and that ball should be picked up by Polly. Under pressure from Barr, but Polly does well. Finds Swan. Swan, lovely pass out to Deneth. Deneth picks it up. She needs forward to make a lead, but still, Deneth comes. A smart play from Deneth. Good linking up with Robinson, and now Robinson's got a chance to drive the outside right. A lovely pass out, picked up by Childs. Childs now slapping it in. It picks up. There's an opportunity now. Deneth tries to do a backspace shot, but this falls in to Swan. Well saved by Beach, and still the ball is in play, and that's going to be umpire plays advantage, and that is a corner won by Charlotte Childs. The crowd comes from the Southgate ranks, and that is better from Southgate. It's just taken them a little while to warm into this contest, but it's woken up the crowd, and the Southgate players are now wrestling to steer this game from fizzling out. As a one-pointer, can they turn it into a three-pointer? You've got Halliday on the right castle and Paul Crow on the left castle. And there's... And it's... No, there was a big cry of goal. It did go in, but it was not deemed to be a legal goal. It slapped in. It's a really good hit the post. So we'll have to ask our umpiring colleagues why that was disallowed, but disallowed it has been. The score remains 1-1, and that was very nearly possibly a match-winning goal, but it wasn't to be. Southgate step in front. Wimbledon now, though, with a chance. 5 minutes of play remaining. Ball falls to Katie Baccanello. Plays it down the line. Halliday calls for a foul from Barker, but she's not awarded. And that's a great tackle from Liv Richardson, but Barker is down on the floor. She's getting up slowly. It looks like she'll be okay. And the ball hasn't got far because Parry's on it and has found Drysdale. Sends it infield. A nice touch, though, from Swan. And Childs is now under great pressure from Petrobras. Umpire says stay on. She plays on Jess Deneth. It's a one-on-one opportunity. She takes the keeper wide, goes on her reverse. And it's a fantastic save from Kira Beach. A crucial save from Wimbledon. And Deneth is disappointed down on her haunches. She did well, though. But that was fine goalkeeping. Four minutes of time remains, maybe a little bit more. Liv Richardson asks for a ball. She gets the ball from the ball patrol, who are doing a great job out there. And now Walker comes forward, puts a bobbling, bouncing ball in, and the ball is then hit back the other way, is in response. And that ball was meant to find Walker. It didn't quite find Walker, and now Wimbledon charging down the right-hand channel. They win a hit, and the clock is ticking down, and you still sense a goal could be on the cards. And after a slow start, the game is really finding a bit of feet for the neutral observer. Pretty tense, I suspect, if you're the Wimbledon supporters back home. And McCullum now has an opportunity. Still, she's got it, and she goes. Still, she's still there. Tries to bring it back on her reverse. And you can see the way that McCullum threw that ball back, that Southgate determined to try and not leave anything out there. Kelly. Can she win that back? And this now could be the Wimbledon chance, but Walker, brilliant today, Flora Walker. And that was Katie Bagnello that Flora Walker just managed to get the ball off in the nick of time. Polly then under pressure, looking for options. She chooses to turn back around. Somehow she gets through there. Dinks it back, finds Matthews. Matthews sends it across. And Halliday, she's got Childs making a lead wide. She's going to try and find Childs, and that was a slightly tricky ball. 2 minutes. Can one of these teams change this game? Halliday finds Robinson. Robinson finds Polly. Polly gets to McCullum. McCullum now, she's in the D. She pulls it back. Goes to Robinson. Robinson gets it in. And it's got in! And that's a Southgate winner. Ellie Robinson with a captain's performance. Broken hearts for Wimbledon there. And Beach tries to get the goal up, foot up to save it. Is unable to. And that's heartbreak for Wimbledon. The score 2-1. And Wimbledon have now a minute to wrestle this back to parity. But instead McCullum picks the pocket of Barr, puts it in, reverses it hard onto the foot. Brilliant defending from Petra Barr. That was brave defending, and Southgate now with the corner. So as they said, just to remind you, if you're watching and fancy staying on a little longer, this stream will go quiet after the game, but in just 1 hour's time, the Premier Division kicks into life here with the Southgate men's team taking on East Grinstead. So look out for the link for that one. We'll be delighted to have you. But now, Crookshanks crouches deep into that sumo squat. Sends it out. It's going to fall to Halliday, and that is going to go in. And it was in fact McIntyre who gets the goal. The score is Southgate 3, Wimbledon 1, and you feel for the Wimbledon players. They've done brilliantly today. Really asked big questions from the Southgate players, and somehow Southgate find a way. They dug deep. The score line at the end of the game, Southgate 3, Wimbledon 1. Southgate finding a way to take those chances in the end, and their determination after that goal, late goal from Wimbledon to get the game back. It's testament to their quality as a team. For Wimbledon, there'll be disappointment on their journey back. They do put everything out there, really ran the Southgate team very deep, and we wish them well for the end of their run-in and hope that they can avoid that drop zone. Some brilliant players, the stars of tomorrow out there. Highlight for me being Meg Parry, the number 7. She'll get my vote as player of the game. But as the umpires shake hands with the coaches and the players, thank you very much for joining us here. A beautiful afternoon in Trent Park. We'll catch our breaths. Next week sees the women back out on the road, and they will be making their way to Sugden Lane to play Surbiton Women's Twos. That'll be on the 15th of March. With just 3 games now remaining in this league, can they continue their trajectory up the league? They should hopefully find themselves, subject to other results, in the top 3. Bit of learning from this game to take with them, but they found a way to win the game. So that's it from me. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to the team that brought the live stream to you, and we wish you well for the rest of your Saturdays, and we'll see some of you back here at 6 o'clock for the next game, Southgate against East Grinstead. So that's the team here at Southgate signing off.